Simplify 5 root 7 minus root 3 over root 7 minus root 3. Okay, so let's look at part A in that case. Part A, we have 5 root 7 minus root 3 over root 7 minus root 3. To simplify this expression, we need to rationalize the denominator. To do so, we need to multiply both top and bottom of this expression by the conjugate of this bottom part. So what I want to multiply this by is root 7, and the conjugate means we flip the sign in the middle, so root 7 plus root 3 over root 7 plus root 3. Remember, this is like expanding brackets, so some people like to have the brackets here just to kind of remind them that actually what you've got to do here is you've got to expand two brackets, top and bottom. Expanding the bracket on top, I get 5 times root 7 squared. I then get root 5 root 7 times root 3, so that gives me then plus 5 root 21, because we just do the 7 times the 3. I then get minus 3 root 3 times root 7, so I get minus root 21. And then finally we get minus root 3 times plus root 3, gives me minus root 3 squared. There's different ways you can write this. You could have just written this as root 49, however you want to do things. Now on the bottom, we're going to do difference of two squares, so we're going to get root 7 squared minus root 3 squared. Remember what happens with the other terms. I get root 7 times plus root 3 gives us a plus root 21, and minus root 3 times root 7, which gives us a minus root 21. Okay, when I simplify, first term at the top I get 5, root 7 squared is just 7, so I get 5 times 7, which is 35. 5 root 21 minus root 21 gives me minus 4 root 21. And then I get minus root 3 squared, which is just minus 3. All over, root 7 squared is 7, root 3 squared is 3. Okay, last part almost then. So 35 minus 3 gives me 32, minus 4 root 21, and then 7 minus 3 is 4. And at this point, we can cancel terms top and bottom. Some people like to factorize the top, take the 4 out, so that they can see they're not making any silly cancelling mistakes. So if I take the 4 out as a common factor on the top, you can see I get, sorry, this should be a plus here, and this should be a plus here, and this should be a plus here. So taking 4 out as a common factor, we can then see that the 4's cancel, and it just leaves me with 8 plus root 21. How are the marks distributed in this question? Well, initially we get a method mark for showing that you multiply here by the conjugate of the denominator. You get an accuracy mark or an answer mark if you demonstrate the proper expansion across the top. You then get also accuracy mark if we get this result of 7 minus 3 for the bottom, and then finally this accuracy or answer mark for the final simplified result of 8 plus root 21. Let's look at part B then. With questions like part B, it's easier when we've got this series of terms just to consider actually each individual term. So root 15 times root 20. Sometimes it's easier to simplify the thirds first and then multiply, other times not. This time I'm going to actually multiply the two thirds, so I get root 300. The reason I've done this is because I now know that this is root 100 times root 3, and 100 obviously is a square number, which is why I've written it like that, and I get 10 root 3. Deal with the root 75. Square factors of 75 are 25, so I get root 25 times root 3, and so square root of 25 is 5, and we get 5 root 3. And finally, root 60 over root 5. Different ways you can do this depending on how you want to approach it. In this situation, I mean, you can try and rationalize it by multiplying top and bottom by root 5, or if you can see that the bottom term has a factor in the top one, you can break it up. So in other words, what I mean by that is I can rewrite this as root 5 times root 12, because that will give me root 60, over root 5. And then the root 5's cancel, so I get root 12. Root 12 can be simplified further because 12 has the square factor 4, so I can write this as root 4, root 3, and then square root in the 4, I get 2 root 3. All that's left to do, having simplified each of the 3 terms, is then to write out the summation, which is 10 root 3 minus 5 root 3 minus 2 root 3. Remember that root 3 is just like x. I could have 10x minus 5x minus 2x. Root 3 is just another term, so I'm just counting them up and collecting them. So I've got 10 minus 5 minus 2 will give me 3 root 3 as an answer. So how are the marks distributed in this question? Well, you get a standalone B1 mark if you identify that root 15 times root 20 simplifies to 10 root 3. You get a standalone mark if you can identify root 75 simplifies to give me 5 root 3. You get a standalone B mark if you identify root 60 over root 5 gives you 2 root 3. And then finally, if you collect the terms and you get an answer of 3 root 3, you get your final standalone mark. Hope you understood that all and I hope it made sense.